My name is Nick Hagglund, and this is The Pathway presented by Allstate. All right, so this was the Lakota Eagles jersey. This was actually my first club jersey. So I played rec soccer until I was 10, and my dad was my coach, and we were really good, honestly. We went to the Best of Midwest tournament and won it twice, and we were just a bunch of guys. No one really knew who we were, playing together against some of the best clubs around the area, and I played there until I was about 15 years old. So basically, I watched my sister live out her dreams, want to go to college, go to University of Washington, and I kind of watched her path of what it takes to be a collegiate D1 athlete, and I was like, I want to be a D1 athlete too. And then Xavier was the only team that was like, we really want you. We're going to give you a scholarship. We think you're going to be a leader. We think you're going to be an important piece. And to me, that conversation about feeling valued and cared about, not just as like a soccer player, but also a leader on the team, was important to me. So this was the first jersey I ever played center back in. I had never played center back in my life, never had stood back there. Basically through the season, I started up at striker, then I was an attacking mid, then I was D mid. Right before we went to the A10 tournament, our senior captain got hurt, and he played center back, and my coach was like, you gotta go play center back, and never looked back since. Yeah, I actually did not think that I was going to get drafted, even on draft days. You know, I'm just kind of sitting there with my parents, and all of a sudden they say 10th pick from Xavier University, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting picked up right now? I didn't expect the top 10 at all. And just like, I don't know, accumulation of all the work that you put together in college and before that in high school and whatnot comes to this moment that just feels like super special. Toronto was such an awesome place for me to go. Yeah, I got an opportunity early to play. You know, that's lucky in your career to get, you know, a couple red cards, a couple injuries, and then all of a sudden you're thrust into it. And this one, I think, is the 2016 Eastern Conference Finals. And I feel like that was kind of where I first made a name for myself. 60th minute, 2-2 tied, and I get a ball crossed in, and I was able to head the ball in, and it was one of the best goals I've scored in my career, with a lot of weight and pressure and meaning to the goal. And yeah, that allowed us to go into overtime, and we win this game, and just a huge moment against your rival. Final, send you to MLS Cup. This also set up the scene for the following season when we win MLS Cup. You know, we have it here, we beat Seattle, we get our revenge. Got to put this jersey on, and it was just surreal. I mean, you worked so hard for it for 4 years. Toronto had zero history coming in when I first got there. I get to look at the Toronto jersey every time I play against them or see it, and there's a star in the jersey, and it reminds me that I was a part of creating something special for the city, for the fans. You know, we won Canadian Cup, Supporter Shield, and MLS Cups that season, so it was a fun group to be a part of, and really good memories. Then while I'm in preseason with Toronto, we're at practice, all of a sudden I get a text from the GM. He's like, come down to the lobby. And I was like, uh-oh, something's gonna happen here. So I get down there, and they're like, you're traded to Cincinnati. And I couldn't smile too big on my face, but I was super excited. I was super excited to be a part of it. Again, I was watching from afar Cincinnati soccer grow. So when I came to Cincinnati, I was excited about creating the culture. You know, at Xavier, they hadn't won anything, and we won 2 A10 tournaments and went to the NCAA 3 out of 4 times. I go to Toronto, there was no history, we win MLS Cup, and I feel like this was an opportunity to be a part of something, to build culture here again, and it's in your hometown. Like, how sweet could that be? And obviously, being a Cincinnati guy and knowing about Cincinnati sports, I wanted to help change the narrative on that the best way I could. I just remember we're in the locker room, which is right underneath the Bailey, and as we're getting ready, which is like 45 minutes before the game, you could already hear like people stamping, people out there, and I was like, what's going on? And as we walk out from the door, the whole stadium was filled already, which is just unheard of. Like, people don't just show up for the games that early. This was the first time getting to experience the excitement, the passion, the joy that Cincinnati had for soccer. Yeah, it was just like a surreal moment that, like, this has all come together. I was playing professional soccer in front of the city that helped grow me to who I am. It was just a special moment of all that coming together. Lifting the shield, bringing a trophy to Cincinnati, I mean, it's a boyhood dream. Like, you bring your club, your hometown club, a trophy. Obviously, we want to win MLS Cup. We want to be able to put a star above our badge. But, you know, Cincinnati hasn't had a history of winning trophies, and so to be able to do that, I don't know, there's not many words that I can put how special it felt, especially after being through the first 3 seasons. I think maybe if I didn't have the first 3 seasons, it wouldn't feel as special, but I feel like you saw the club grow from where it was and struggling to continually, you know, there was opportunities for me to go other places. I was in free agency and I chose to stick it out here because I wanted this more than anything to be successful. And so I think, like, when I was holding this trophy, it was just all the hard work and all the grinding and the tough seasons. I feel like this was just a special moment for myself personally, but also, you know, I think I'm gonna get to look back at pictures and look at the shield that we have up at the training ground and just remember this moment.